Hello, here's a roundup of what's going on as we start the new week. Uh, Today, there's stories of the Chechen leader, Roman Kadyrov, visiting troops in Ukraine. There's even a video of him doing so, though it's unclear that he's actually in Ukraine. But we know that Chechen soldiers have been seizing people's houses near Kiev. Uh, what else is going on? Um, Michail Podol Michail Podolyak, one of the negotiators for Ukraine, is making very positive noises about a meeting that took place with the Russian delegation on Sunday. This is the first positive noise that we've heard since the atrocities began. So one hopes something is indeed turning a corner there. Meanwhile, the Russian Attorney General has started arresting or started issuing arrest warrants for Western companies which are closing down their businesses in Russia. And of course, Russia has decided it's going to nationalize or seize those assets which are left behind. Over the weekend, 850 or more arrests were made of Russians who bravely, valiantly went out to protest against this appalling war. They've often had their phones confiscated or been forced to show their photographs and messages. This is something that we've heard about, particularly on the Moscow metro, how police are stopping people and demanding to see what's on their phones. Now it's becoming more routine. So those stories clearly were true. There's further hindrance to a humanitarian aid convoy which is trying to get into Mariupol. At the moment, it seems to be stuck in Berdyansk, and it's unclear whether where the Turkish buses which have been waiting to take people from a mosque in Mariupol have managed to do so. Slightly more positive noise, the electricity is back on in Chernobyl, so averting a major disaster there. And one would hope that some of the threats and stories coming out about Chernobyl have now been put to one side. It certainly seemed like the beginnings of a false flag campaign by Russia. As for the stories about chemical labs in Ukraine, sponsored by America, I think it's unlikely that there are chemical labs that are making illegal weapons. I think it's highly likely that there are research laboratories across Ukraine that are looking into the chemical weapons which Russia has been making. Certainly, if I were a scientist in Ukraine, I would be very interested to get my hands on Novichok and to do as much research as I possibly can into that vile weapon to see if there was an antidote that I could construct. Because this is my neighbor. This is my neighbor who has been caught, smearing Novichok on doorknobs and killing people with an illegal chemical weapon. So this is the stories that Russia is peddling about chemical weapons in Ukraine, I think, must be taken with a pinch of salt. But I have no doubt that there are research laboratories that are working very hard to counter the weapons which the Kremlin has sponsored and which it clearly has. There we are. Have a good week.